Let me show you 4 automations that you can actually build for your recruitment agency. So if you run a recruitment agency, you might want to stick to the end of this video, because I promise you that all the automations that I'm going to show you will save your recruiters at least 15 hours every week, and will cut down on the repetitive admin work, and also help you work, put the work into actually doing what grows the business, building relationships, getting client deals, and all of that. But before we get in, hi, my name is Joe Comfort, and I build operating systems for recruitment agencies, especially boutique recruitment agencies. If you run a recruitment agency, maybe we should have a chit chat. You can grab a coffee with me by scheduling a strategy call in the link in the description. Right, so let's just get right into it. So the first system that we have here is an AI recruiter, which takes care of sorting and extracting information from CVs, from CVs when candidates upload their CVs, either on your website or directly send it to you as an email, wherever they come from. Let me just walk you through how you can build this. And the tutorial of how this was actually built is actually on my channel, and I'm going to link it in the description. So if you want to see a breakdown and step-by-step tutorial on how to get this up and running, then you might want to check the description, because it will be linked there, right? So here is what that simple system looks like. So what this system does is that you are going to have a folder where you upload all the files or the CVs that candidates upload. So you can easily, if your website allows candidates to upload their CV, you can easily tag this to that website. But if it's, or to the work with your website storage, of course. But if it doesn't, or if you are allowing candidates to send you their CVs as email, so you just download an attachment. Once you download the attachment, you upload it on the drive that you want, or that you have all of the CVs put in. Of course, you run a recruitment agency, you have all the CVs in one place, right? So that is where your drive, that's where, the system start running for when you upload, or when a new file is added to your drive. In this case, I used Google Drive. So if you use Google Drive as well, this will be very nice for you. So what this does is that every time we upload a new file into our folder, it automatically downloads the file, because we need the file in our system to be able to work with it. The next thing is to convert it from the form that it is in. Of course, you're running a recruitment agency. With all the recruitment agencies I've spoken to, what is common with them is that they usually work with PDFs, right? So I don't think I've ever spoken to a recruitment agency that allows or encourages candidates to send CVs as a Word document, right? So ideally, of course, candidates now only send CVs as PDFs, right? So what we now need when we download the file into our system is to convert that PDF into Word, so that we can extract all the words in it. So once we are able to convert that PDF, we now go into our AI module to extract all the necessary information for us. So I have a list here. So what I'm extracting here is full name, the email, the phone number, the years of experience, the key skills that the person have, the current or most recent role that the person has worked in, the industry that the person has worked in, the location of the person, as well as their salary expectations, if any, right? So these are what I extract from my own, but depending on what information that you're looking for, because from my research about recruitment agencies and the ones I've spoken to, these are most likely always the common things that they look out for in CVs. But if you are looking for anything else, of course you can also add them here. So once you add them here, you are going to go ahead and put in the format you want it to be extracted in, and of course with AI will take care of extracting that. So once it extracts that, it passes it as a JSON, because what mostly happens when AI gives you all of this data, it packs them up as one output and puts them up as one unit of words, like a combined word for you. So you need a JSON to extract it into its individual components, so that you can easily put them in the rows or wherever you want to put it in your database. Because of course your database has different fields. It has like the first name field, the second name or the last name field, the email field. So you want the data that you are also bringing in to be extracted into all those individual fields, so that you can easily put it into your database. In this case, I'm using spreadsheets, but of course you can use anything that works for you. So this is our system number one, and like I said, a breakdown of how this was built will be linked in the comment, so comment or description. So if you want to watch that, you would of course check out the description. So that is our number one system. The second system right here is what I call the market intelligence report. So what this does is that you know that most times as a recruiter, you want to know what the you always have to stay on top of trends, know what how other companies are hiring, know what the job range, the market range is, salary expectation, sorry, is like for the roles that your company usually recruits for. If you target fintechs, if you recruit for fintechs, you should know what fintechs are paying for certain roles, so that once a client comes to you, you already have that data and you can tell them, so that just in case they don't really know, because most clients don't do that research. It's not in their place to do it. It is in the place of the recruitment agency to do that, to know what candidates expect at work, the salary expectations, the all of that, and then that kind of information is what is now communicated to the client, as well as the things that should be in the requirement. What are agencies looking for a particular role? Recruitment agencies have to know that, right? But you know that to be able to have that kind of information, you have to really be able to stay on top of trends, see take spend time reading the news, seeing what the market is like, reading through other job ads that you see, so that you can find patterns and all of that. And that, if you're going to do manually, will take you at least 3 hours of your day every time, right? So that is what this system basically does. This system just helps you cut down on the time that you would ideally use for your research. So what this system does is that it goes into an app called Amplify, and then scrapes for jobs that are hiring in a particular field. So say you want to see the job market for, or the job trends for a product management role, right? It actually goes in, like you can see in this case now, what I'm using here is product manager. So it actually goes in to scrape all the product manager jobs that have been posted in the last, whatever you pick. If you pick, like in this case I picked 2 months, but if you pick maybe not too much, you will pick in the whole year, whatever time frame that you would prefer, right? You will pick your time frame, and then you also pick the location. In this case I picked United States, but of course the location can be, if you want remote, whatever you're looking for, right? So what this now does is that it goes into LinkedIn, right? In this case I'm using LinkedIn. So it goes into LinkedIn and scrapes all the job postings in the United States in the past 2 months for product managers. And then once it scrapes that for me, what I now do with it is to extract the data set. And once I extract the data set, I put it into AI to give me all the details that I need. So in this case, I am looking for the skills that they are looking required. I'm looking at the requirements and I'm extracting the required skills. I'm, extracting the salary, the seniority, and also, things like that that I necessarily need. This way, what I decided to extract. But in your team, if you want more details, of course, you can also add here. So I also said it should extract the skills, the salary, and the seniority for me, right? So once it does that, I now loop it around so that it will do it over and over again. So if I find like 20 jobs, right, I want it to look through and extract the unique information for me, the skills, the skills, the seniority, the salary. It keeps doing that for me until it is done extracting all for the 20. So the next thing is to use AI to analyze all these data, because we are trying to find trends in this. We are trying to see what is peculiar, what is what is common, what's unique, and within, like, what is the general market saying, right? So we're looking at the similarities, maybe differences, and all of that. So here was my prompt. I did say you are a job market analyst. Here is the job data, which is going to be the data that came from the aggregation, right? In this case I aggregated 10, but of course for yours it can be higher or lower. So I told it to analyze and return the average salary range for that particular role, the 10 top common skills that people, recruiters are hiring for, the top hiring companies, most companies that are that are currently hiring. And that could also help me to pitch into those companies and be like, okay, I see that you are always hiring for this. Can we be the recruitment agency that always brings you those top talents and everything? That could really also help my agency. And the third thing was like the key insight that I'm going to get from all of these data. And I told it to keep it concise and all of that. So at the end of the day, what I ended up doing was send all of the data to my team on Slack. So you can you can interchange this to create a document for you so that you can use this for your pitch with your recruit with the clients that you're trying to get in touch with. Whatever just works. But in this case, what I did do was for you to send it to my team on Slack so that we can stay updated on what is going on in the job market. This really will save my team and I a lot of time, because we are not going to waste time, going on LinkedIn to scroll through the job, see what people are hiring for, and all of that. So that really just saves us time. So this is a very good automation to have in any recruitment agency. The next automation to have would definitely be a meeting secretary. So a lot of the recruitment agencies that I've spoken to are recruitment agencies that are really relationship driven. So they're trying to get on meetings more to build relationships with the candidate, also build relationships with the client. So you will know that you can have like 3-4 meetings a day per recruiter. So it is really important that as a recruiter, you have, a system that, analyzes the conversations that were being had and extract key points instead of always having to take down notes and then going back to that conversations every time. So that is what this system really just did. So this system was watching for, when new meetings happen, and with our note taker, in this case I use Fireflies, or you can use Otter, you can use whatever note taker you are currently using in your recruitment agency. So what I did do was go in and get the transcript of that particular meeting. So I was able to go in once the meeting happens, get the transcript of that meeting, and then the next thing that happens is that I will download the transcript of that meeting. This in this case. So once I download the transcript of that meeting, I'll go ahead to use AI to analyze it and extract all the necessary to-dos. So in this case, I was saying, oh, you are a project management assistant. Analyze the transcript from the meeting and extract every individual task mentioned in the meeting. So I told it to, create a separate object for each distinct task. So all the tasks that were going to be done, all the things like, oh, okay, this is your experience. This is what, okay, we'll schedule an interview for the next day. All of the tasks. That's what I basically did here. But you can swap this if we were having a meeting with. This could be when we're having a meeting with our clients that are trying to, get talent from our business, from our agency. But you can switch the prompt out here if you're having conversations with the candidates. So you can have things like extract the experience, extract what they're looking for, extract their skills and all of that, extract their unique selling points and all of that, depending on the questions, on the things that you and the candidates are discussing about. But this one right here with this prompt, it will really be perfect for if you have, when you're having the conversation with the clients that are trying to, hire talent using your recruitment agency. So I did ask it to output everything here, which is going to be the to-dos like, okay, write the description, write the JD, get in touch with, search our, what's it called, our talent pool to get the talents that could match this JD, all of that, right? Once we have all of that, once you extract all of that for us, it's always going to be as usual in one combined, output. So we needed to be able to extract it. And once we were able to extract it, the next thing that we did do was to send it to our tax manager or product management tool. In this case, I use ClickUp, but you can use Asana. Whatever you use currently in your recruitment agency is what you would want to use. So what it really did here was go in and create each of these individual to-do tasks for the recruiter. So you could create it for the recruiter that had the conversation, or whoever is supposed to pick up on all the tasks that we mentioned that are necessary for this client. So this particular one really worked perfect for when you're having client conversations. But like I said, the only thing you have to change here if you're trying to use this for candidate conversations is the prompt in here, because the questions and the conversation is going to be slightly different from what is going on here, right? So this one will really save you time. Instead of always having to pen down or write down all the key points, you will be able to get all the key points and to-dos out immediately after this meeting, and it will be listed out so that the team members can know what they are supposed to do and pick up on that and just do. So this would save you at least 15 hours every week on drafting tags and drafting out summary of conversations and all of that. So the last system here is the complete AI recruiting system. This is really for like boutique agencies that are really trying to stay within the budget and save, and also want to have like unique recruitment experience as compared to the generic software recruitment softwares that are out in the market. So what this one basically just does is that it watches for your new form submissions. So this spreadsheet that you see here is tagged to the form that is on the website, right? So whenever someone sees a job that they like and they apply for that job, they automatically get imputed into this spreadsheet. So once they get imputed into a spreadsheet, we go into our drive, because of course when they're applying for a job, they will also upload their CV, and there is a drive where the CV always goes into. So in this case, we go and search the drive for their name. We will always tell them that your CV should be called your name, like the title of the CV should be your name. So that way we are able to go into our database and search for that particular name, right? Once we find it, we download it into our system. Let me zoom this in so that you can see it. We download it into our system, and because after we have downloaded it into our system, of course CVs are always going to be PDFs. We always tell them, even on our website, even on the website, I did say there, or see PDFs only, so they're only supposed to upload PDFs. Any candidate that probably decides not to upload will not, because personally, no, I don't think there's any recruitment agency that works with Word documents from all I've seen and all the ones I've spoken to. So once we get that PDF, we now want to convert it from a PDF to a docs so that we can work with. And once we convert it to from a PDF to a document, we are now able to extract the important fields from the CV. We are able to extract the name, the email, the skills, the years of experience, the company's education, the seniority level, and key achievements. Any other thing that we really just want to extract. But for your agency, you can decide to extract more, you can decide to extract less, depending on how your database looks like. So once we extract that, we pass it out so that we can have its individual fields. And now that we have its individual fields, what we now do is go in and create the roles with for this particular candidate. So you can see we created the name, we created the email, we did not create the phone number. We also add the link to their URL, their website, their CV. Sorry, we also had a link to their CV, and then we also put in the extracted text from the website. We also added their skills. We also added their years of experience, the companies that work at, and the education that they have. So once we have that, right, depending on the job that they are applying for, sorry, we search our database, our job database, to see the exact job that they are applying for. So in this case, you can see the job that they're applying for is equal to the job title that we currently have in our database. So once we have that, we can now go in and use the job that they are applying for, the description of the job that they are applying for, and put it against their own CV to see what we get. So in this case, that is what we are just doing here. We are saying you are an expert AI recruiter, score this candidate against the particular job description or job requirement that we have gotten now. We'll do the technical match, the experience relevant, the company quality, and the soft skills that they have. And once we do that, we are able to extract that data from we are able to compare the CVs. At this point, we're able to compare their CV to the job description and then extract the details. So once we get that, we are able to tell if a candidate is qualified or unqualified for the role. So once we are able to tell if a candidate is qualified for a role, so you can see here, if their score is low, we go ahead and draft a message and tell them, oh, that they didn't make the cut, but we are going to keep their CVs for further placements and all of that. And then in this case, we go ahead to send that email, and accordingly, we will also update our database to tell us that, oh, we have rejected this particular candidate. But on the other hand, if the candidate score is high, after we have matched their CV to what we are looking for in our job description, we go ahead and find the available times that the hiring manager is available. Because when we are putting in our job description, right, in our job database, we also put in the available times that the hiring manager is available to get to be to do the interview. Whichever recruiter is going to be handling the interview, we put in the times that they are going to be available to do the interview. So once we go in, we can now set their availability, the days that have not been booked, and then add that to their calendar, and also add the the what's it called, the interviewee, right? The person that is going to be interviewing, we go ahead and add this event in their own calendar as well. As you can see, we have added them here as attendee so that they can attend the meeting and also receive it in their own Google Mail, or in this case I'm using Google Calendar, because you can use maybe whatever calendar that you have, but I think Google Calendar is the most common, right? So then we go ahead and also send them an email for them to confirm that they have been booked in for this meeting and that they can see it and they are available to have that meeting. And once we do that, we now notify the recruiter that, oh, this candidate is qualified enough to have this meeting with you. So here are the, the what's it called, the summary of this candidate. So if so that the recruiter will have time to study, get to know, everything, questions or anything they want to get to know about the candidate, and be better prepared. Basically, just prep for the meeting. And once we do that, we go in and still update our database one final time that the status of the person is accepted or pending interview, right? So that way we'll be able to tell which of the candidates. Once we go into our database, we can easily tell which candidates have been rejected, which ones are pending interview, which ones have been placed, and everything. We can just see it in one place in our database. So those are like my top four missions that every recruitment agency must have, because it doesn't just save you time, it allows you to have the time to actually, build relationships with candidates, build relationships with clients, and those are the things that would actually bring more deals and help scale the company. So with automations like this, you can scale your recruitment agency without necessarily hiring more, and you can save at least 15 hours every week per recruiter in your agency, giving your recruiters time to actually recruit and place more candidates, and thereby being able to scale and grow the business. I really hope you found this useful. If you did, leave a comment. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments. If you have a recruitment agency, then you should definitely grab coffee with me, because I want to talk to you. And if you know anybody that has a recruitment agency, you might want to share this video with them. And I think this way we'll call it a day today. So I will see you tomorrow.